Money and fame can be intoxicating, luring many into thinking they're untouchable. But the law doesn't care how many awards you've won or fans you have. Beneath the glamour, some celebrities harbor dark secrets that lead them straight to prison. These aren't just any slip-ups. We're talking about shocking crimes that rocked the fans and destroyed careers. From chilling acts of violence to outrageous schemes, there are 21 actors currently rotting in jail. Number 1. Suge Knight. Suge Knight, Death Row Records co-founder, was infamous for controversy even before prison. In 2015, he ran over 2 men on the Straight Outta Compton set, killing Terry Carter and injuring Clee Sloan. Though Knight claimed self-defense, prosecutors pointed to his violent history. Then, in 2018, he took a plea deal for voluntary manslaughter, earning 28 years behind bars. He even gave the stare, which was kind of alarming. Once a music industry titan, Knight's life now unfolds in a California prison, with parole possible in 2037. Now we move from music mogul to a rapper whose fame couldn't outrun tragedy. Number 2. Corey Miller. Corey Miller, aka C-Murder, is serving life for the 2002 killing of 16-year-old Steve Thomas. A nightclub brawl turned deadly, with witnesses accusing Miller of pulling the trigger. Despite his claims of innocence and recanted testimonies supporting his case, courts upheld the verdict. His ongoing legal battles, including a hunger strike protesting prison conditions, keep him in the headlines. However, the fans still debate his guilt. But one thing's clear: Miller's legacy is as polarizing as his lyrics. Up next is the story of a teen rapper whose rise to fame came with a dark price. Number 3. Taymor McIntyre. Known as TK47, Taymor McIntyre's fame skyrocketed with his viral hit, The Race, a song glorifying his life on the run. Accused of a 2016 home invasion that left Ethan Walker dead, TK fled house arrest, only to be caught later. In 2019, he received a 55-year sentence. His criminal history doesn't end there. Other violent crimes, including murder and robbery, add to his record. His story is a grim reminder that fame can't erase consequences. From viral songs to internet scandals, our next case reveals the darker side of online fame. Number 4. Austin Jones. Once a YouTube star, Austin Jones charmed fans with pop a cappella covers. But in 2017, his dark secret unraveled. He was coercing underage fans into sending explicit videos. Arrested and charged with producing child pornography, Jones admitted to manipulating his young audience. In 2019, he received a 10-year prison sentence. His fall from grace serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked influence in the digital age. Then we have a corporate icon whose double life shocked the world. Number 5. Jared Fogle. Jared Fogle was a subway pitchman who lost everything when his disturbing crimes came to light. Arrested in 2015, Fogle was found guilty of possessing child pornography and soliciting minors.
I like all ages, but 15, I like all of them, you know?
Well, what makes it different? I mean, from one age to another, why does...
Well, it just depends who's ready for what, and, you know, who's going to give you the glance, you know what I mean?
Investigators revealed he used his charity as a front for predatory behavior. Sentenced to 15 years and ordered to pay $1.4 million in restitution, Fogle's downfall remains one of the most shocking celebrity scandals ever. From corporate betrayal to a hip-hop icon whose temper turned deadly, our next story takes us to the streets of New York. Number 6. Nathaniel Glover Jr. Nathaniel Glover Jr., famously known as Kid Creole of Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, helped shape hip-hop's early days. But in 2017, his life took a tragic turn when he fatally stabbed John Jolly, a homeless man on a New York street. Glover claimed self-defense, suspecting Jolly intended to rob him, but prosecutors used video evidence to argue otherwise. Convicted of manslaughter in 2022, Glover received a 16-year sentence. Talking about personal choices, our next case dives into the tangled web of scandal surrounding one of music's most controversial figures. Number 7. R. Kelly.
R. Kelly is a predator, and as a result of our prosecution, he'll serve a long jail sentence for his crimes.
R. Kelly, once crowned the king of R&B, saw his career and reputation destroyed by decades of abuse allegations. In 2021, he was convicted in New York for racketeering and sex trafficking, followed by a conviction for child pornography in Chicago in 2022. Kelly exploited his fame to groom, abuse, and silence young victims, some as young as 14. With over 30 years of combined sentences, Kelly will likely spend the rest of his life in prison. As R. Kelly faces justice, the next actor brings us to Hollywood's darker side. Number 8. Michael Jace. Michael Jace, known for his role on The Shield, shocked fans in 2014 when he murdered his wife, April Jace. Fueled by rage during a divorce argument, Jace fatally shot April in front of their 2 children. Testimonies revealed a history of domestic violence, with even his ex-wife recounting abuse. There was even a call evidence.
Okay, tell me exactly what happened.
My son-in-law called me and texted me and said he'd come get the kids because he shot April, our daughter.
Okay, are the police on the line?
Yes.
Okay. How old is April, sir?
April's year old.
Okay. Stand by. Sir PD, I'm 30, incident 1284.
Then in 2016, Jace was sentenced to 40 years to life for second-degree murder. While his children grew up without their mother, Jace's Hollywood career is eclipsed by the devastation he causes. From a dramatic murder to a fighter whose aggression spilled out of the ring, the next case is nothing short of brutal. Number 9. Jonathan Koppenhaver. Better known as War Machine, he turned his MMA moniker into a chilling reality in 2014.
What happens after he mouths those words to you?
So I thought to myself, wow, what's going to happen next? And I remember trying to put my hands onto the bed and kind of slide up towards a sitting position, but before I could get there, he had already jumped onto the bed from there to there, and he had started pounding me in the face, just laying down here on my face.
Other than the, what the F,
Yeah.
other than that expression to you, did he say anything else to you, or was it an immediate barrage?
No, an immediate barrage, yeah.
His brutal attack on ex-girlfriend Christy Mack and her companion Corey Thomas left Mack with broken bones and severe injuries. Evading arrest for weeks, Koppenhaver later admitted to struggles with violence, but later couldn't escape justice. Convicted on 29 counts, including kidnapping and sexual assault, he was sentenced to 36 years to life in 2017. While he claims to have found faith in prison, his violent legacy casts a long shadow. We now shift from the MMA ring to a Hollywood villain with a far darker past. Number 10. Joe Sun. Joe Sun, best known as Random Task in Austin Powers, international man of mystery, committed crimes far more horrifying than his comedic role. In 2011, DNA evidence tied him to a gang rape and torture case in 1990, resulting in a life sentence. Sun's violent streak didn't end there. Later that year, he murdered his cellmate, adding 27 years to his time. Now, our next case is somewhat shocking, because Michelle Obama even called this guy a good friend. Number 11. Harvey Weinstein. Harvey Weinstein, once a Hollywood titan, is now infamous as the face of the Me Too movement. Over 80 women accused him of sexual harassment and assault, triggering one of the biggest scandals in entertainment history. Convicted in New York for rape and sexual assault in 2020, and again in Los Angeles in 2022, Weinstein faces a combined 39-year sentence.
Weinstein is a vicious, serial sexual predator who used his power to threaten, rape, assault, trick, humiliate, and silence his victims.
His abuse of power destroyed careers and lives, transforming him from a celebrated producer into a symbol of unchecked privilege. From Hollywood's red carpet to a tiger cage in Oklahoma, our next figure captures the bizarre and criminal side of fame. Number 12, Joe Exotic.
And you want to know why Carole Baskin better never, ever, ever see me face to face ever, ever, ever again.
Joe Exotic, Netflix's Tiger King star, shocked audiences with his chaotic life, including a murder-for-hire plot targeting Carole Baskin. In 2020, he was sentenced to 22 years for hiring a hitman and for animal cruelty and abuse charges, including shooting tigers at his zoo. While in prison, Exotic was diagnosed with prostate cancer, but remains hopeful for an appeal. However, his over-the-top personality and criminal acts cemented him as one of reality TV's most infamous figures. Now, still on abusive scandals, our next case gets a little bit horrifying. Number 13, William Hayden. William Hayden, star of Sons of Guns, now serves life in prison for sexually abusing minors. Accusations began in 2014, when an assistant revealed he had been raping a preteen girl for years. Additional victims, including Hayden's own daughter, came forward with equally harrowing claims.
Now, according to reports, she said that he took her virginity in 2013, and she claims that she was raped by him almost daily, but did not report it because he had threatened her physically.
And I now believe that. She's told me a lot since then, and there's been a lot that's come to light.
In 2017, he received 3 life sentences and an additional 40 years. The once popular reality TV patriarch has become a reviled figure, with his crimes overshadowing any success he achieved. Talking about success, Tory Lanez almost erased his after a careless shooting incident. Number 14, Tory Lanez. Canadian rapper Tory Lanez is serving 10 years in prison for shooting Megan Thee Stallion in 2020. After a heated argument following a Hollywood party, Lanez fired at Megan's feet as she walked away, causing injuries.
So I get out the car and it's like everything happens so fast. And all I hear is this man screaming, he said, "Dance, bitch." And he started shooting, and I'm just like, oh my God.
Despite his denials and attempts to spin the narrative through his music, the evidence was overwhelming. Convicted in 2022 on 3 felony charges, his case highlighted deeper issues in the music industry. Next, we now have someone whose actions behind the wheel brought her career to a crashing halt. Number 15, Amy Locane.
I drove home while I was intoxicated, and the consequences were devastating.
Speeding through a New Jersey neighborhood, she struck another car, killing passenger Helene Seaman and injuring her husband. With a blood alcohol level 3 times the legal limit, Locane initially received a light 3-year sentence, sparking outrage. After several appeals, she was resentenced in 2020 to 8 years behind bars. Once a rising star, Locane's career is now a distant memory as she serves time reflecting on her devastating actions. Now let's dive into the story of a reality TV star who conducted one of the most cold-hearted schemes, defrauding vulnerable individuals of their savings. Number 16, Jen Shah.
What is going on?
Why are the police here?
We're looking for Jen Shah.
Holy shit, what the is going on?
She just left. Wait, Jen? If they were asking about Jen.
You guys, what if she's on the run?
Jen Shah, the flashy star of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, now serves a 6.5-year sentence for defrauding elderly victims. Shah ran a decade-long telemarketing scheme that drained life savings from vulnerable individuals. Despite initially denying the charges, her guilty plea in 2023 revealed her central role in the fraud. Her attempts to maintain innocence, including selling free Jen merchandise, backfired spectacularly. Prosecutors condemned her actions as calculated and heartless. Still on deception and fraud, our next story unveils a couple who conned their way to prison. Number 17, Todd and Julie Chrisley.
That's reality star Todd Chrisley arriving at a federal prison camp in Pensacola in a gray Range Rover to begin his 12-year sentence for bank fraud and tax evasion. His wife Julie reported to a different prison 600 miles away in Lexington, Kentucky. Her sentence, 7 years.
Todd and Julie Chrisley, stars of Chrisley Knows Best, built their lavish lifestyle on lies. Convicted in 2022 of tax evasion and fraud, the couple scammed banks out of $30 million in loans to fund their extravagant spending. They also dodged taxes for years while flaunting their wealth on TV. Todd was sentenced to 12 years, and Julie received 7 years, leaving their children to grapple with the fallout. From financial fraud, now we have someone whose actions shocked even loyal fans. Number 18, Josh Duggar.
Today, it's my honor and privilege to join in this announcement of a guilty verdict in the case of United States versus Josh Duggar.
Once part of the devout 19 kids and counting family, Josh Duggar now serves over 12 years in federal prison for child pornography. Arrested in 2021, Duggar was found with explicit material described as some of the worst investigators had seen. This followed earlier allegations that he molested multiple underage girls, including 2 of his sisters, as a teen. The revelations led to the cancellation of his family's show and a tarnished legacy for the Duggar name. As his parents continue to promote their faith, their eldest son's heinous actions have left an indelible stain on their reputation. While Duggar's story reveals hidden darkness, Ryan's case was quite shocking to the fans. Number 19, Ryan Grantham. As a former Riverdale actor, he is serving a life sentence for the 2020 murder of his mother, Barbara Waite.
The day after he murdered his mother, he loaded his car with 3 guns, ammunition, 12 Molotov cocktails, and a map to Rideau Cottage, which is where the Prime Minister and his family are currently living, in Ottawa.
CBC Vancouver reporter Karen Larson is covering the case.
What appears to have happened is Ryan Grantham experiencing a sort of a downward spiral of mental health and depression, self-loathing, suicidal and homicidal thoughts.
Grantham shot her in the head as she played piano, confessing to the crime in a video. The case grew darker when investigators revealed he had also plotted to kill Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and considered committing a mass shooting. Grantham won't be eligible for parole for 14 years, leaving behind a legacy tarnished by his shocking crime. And if that wasn't shocking enough, then the predatory behavior of Darren Sharper will definitely shock you. Number 20, Darren Sharper. Once a 5-time Pro Bowl NFL player, Darren Sharper is now serving over 20 years in prison for drugging and raping multiple women.
Sharper to the charge in count 1, the crime of rape by the use of drugs. The alleged victim, Jane Doe number 1, on the date of October 30th, 2013 in the county of Los Angeles, a serious felony and a strike under the California strike law. How do you plead?
No contest.
You will be required to register for the rest of your life.
Arrested in 2014, Sharper's crimes spanned multiple states, including California, Louisiana, and Arizona. Investigators uncovered a horrifying pattern. He used sedatives to incapacitate victims before assaulting them. Sharper pleaded guilty to charges involving at least 9 women, though authorities believe there are more. His accomplices also faced time behind bars. And now, we saved the best for last, because this guy could entirely end the hip-hop music industry and drag down multiple government officials if evidence of involvement emerges. Number 21, Sean Diddy Combs. In September 2024, Sean Diddy Combs was arrested on federal charges of racketeering, sex trafficking, and transportation for prostitution.
Now to Sean Diddy Combs' investigation. New surveillance video shows Combs being taken into custody in a Manhattan hotel last week.
Allegations against Diddy include disturbing details, with evidence pointing to potential involvement of high-profile figures. Prosecutors accuse him of using intermediaries to influence witnesses, with confiscated jail notes revealing potential plans. While his family supports him and requests bail, Diddy remains behind bars, awaiting his trial in May 2025. With shocking parallels to the Epstein case, Diddy's story threatens to unravel both his legacy and ties to powerful circles. Undeniably, fame and fortune may open doors, but it's clear they can also lead to dark and dangerous paths. So, which of these cases surprised you the most? And who else do you think we missed? Let us know in the comments below. Also, please subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell for more amazing videos like this one.